The real problem with games is that a lot are forgotten about in any calendar year, be it they come out in January, then everyone gets distracted by new shiny toys, or titles such as Zelda just eat up all the space available. There's a bunch of games that really have shone in 2017, yet no one is talking about them, which is terrible. Imagine no one was talking about you. All that work and time and poof, they vanish into the abyss just because Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is terrible. I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is the 10 best video games of 2017 you haven't played.
Number 10.
Nier Automata. While on the surface, Nier Automata is just another platinum hack-and-slash adventure, it's a damn good one and goes one step further when it comes to its narrative. Joyfully bringing together top-down shooters and third-person action, it does all this just by moving camera perspective, which in turn changes genres. It's pretty damn cool. It's the kind of thing that makes you wonder how else such an idea could be executed, but again, it really is the story where this shines. You play as an android combat force tasked with ridding an apocalyptic Earth of lesser machines, but the whole thing is just one big question on human nature belief conflict, and it all takes place across a massive landscape. This is all so powerful as it plays out, it allowed Nier to get a few 10 out of 10s in February 2017, and once you've become immersed in its fourth wall breaking ways, there's nothing that hits quite as hard. Number 9, Pyre. The third title from Supergiant Games is yet further proof how creative that team is, as it takes the world it created with Bastion and Transistor and merges them together. The result is some weird but awesome NBA Jam American football type RPG or something. Known as Pyre, the idea is your crew are all competing to earn their freedom, having been locked out of the capital for one reason or another, but only one can go free per game, and that's even if you win. This concept then ties into an excellent revealing of these criminals and their past, and each match you have puts a little more on the line. You know that winning will let someone leave, but it's often your best player or your favourite character, making for one hell of a tough decision that changes gameplay and story as the numbers dwindle. With different endings based on who makes it out, Pyre is a beautiful, truly impressive work of art in every respect. Number 8, Prey, or Prey 2, if you want to get serious about this. And yeah, that's right, I said it, I went back there. Anyway, Prey as it actually is known in 2017 kinda came and went on release, and that sucks. It's pretty darn good and so much more than Bioshock in space, as so many were keen to label it. And sure, there were carryover elements such as world building through various computer terminals and audio diaries that fleshed out what was going on, but at its core, Arcane Studios had some phenomenal ideas that really dragged you into a very unique FPS. As well as the mimics that were cool enemies which were designed to scare the crap out of you, they could even take the shape of a coffee cup for example, you also had a ton of abilities as well as the glue cannon that let you create stairways to secrets and pathways throughout the ship. It really was inventive, and no one cared. You should go play Prey. Number 7, Wolfenstein II, The New Colossus. Wolfenstein 2 is one hell of a sequel. As well as a brutal and intense combat mechanic that's designed to whoop your ass, Machine Games' reimagining of America had the Nazis prevailed during World War II is also harrowing on occasion. Pulling no punches and highlighting how contemporary alt-right mentalities would fit right alongside the violent segregation and iron fist brutality of the Third Reich. It doesn't hold back at all and is, in many ways, that mature game a lot of people want. It may have a juvenile side, but it also isn't afraid to push the envelope. It has to be stated it is also one of the toughest games of 2017. My word, is it hard. But if you do enjoy shooting things in the face with as much power as you can conjure up, complete with some excellent foundations, the new Colossus is worth your time. Number 6, Cuphead. What Studio MDHR have created here is hard as balls, whatever that means. But it must be said, those that love it, even if it did take 45,890 years to get here. Playing as Cuphead alongside Mugman, gameplay consists of big boss encounters and run and gun segments for good measure. Power-ups can be gained by spending time in the latter, but at some point you do have to go up against these bosses that have fast become known for being sickeningly infuriating. This is why people love it though. It refuses to be forgiving in any sense and is the perfect blend of old school trial and error that a lot of gamers miss and love. You really do have to learn each battle by dying over and over again and trying to come up with a strategy that works. When it does all come together, it does feel pretty damn good, mind. If nothing else, you can smell the passion coming from it as well as the frustration. Hardly anyone's made it to the end, and that's because, again, it's hard as balls. Number 5, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. One of the most impressive games in quite some time simply because of its design ethos, Ninja Theory's Hellblade has provided the template for all future developers in how to make a budget indie video game that looks and feels like a AAA one. The developer took a huge risk not relying on publisher money to bring this to life, instead using their own video editor to voice and animate Senua herself. The game tells the tale of a warrior attempting to save her lover by descending into a world of twisted Norse mythology. However, what's real and what's not is constantly affected by the characters' own battle with psychosis. This manifests itself through the constant chatter of multiple voices in your head that also help you in combat by flagging an attack ahead of time. Once you learn to rely on these instincts, you can actually pinpoint and dodge thanks to the direction of the sound. In short, it's just darn unique and ensures that all its ideas work. That doesn't always happen, so if you are yet to play it, go and change that. Number 4, Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania was basically Sega throwing their hands into the air in confusion before finally passing the franchise onto someone else who got it right. It only took 20 years. In short, this takes levels from the original trilogy and mixes them with some new ones, and basically just throws the clock back to the 90s and gets on with it, which is what Sonic fans wanted to begin with. There's boss battles, intricate platforming, Easter eggs, a great soundtrack, no werehogs, and serves as a wonderful teleporter to whisk you back to your childhood where life was better and you had no problems. This is the only game anyone needs to play if they did like Sonic all those years ago. Just brings it back to life. Number 3, Night in the Woods. Everybody loves a game that builds its narrative for hours slowly and then pays it off and then some, which is why everyone also loves Night in the Woods. It takes all of that, wraps it in some platforming and the odd minigame, and makes sure all of its characters are very well written to boot. Wonderful. Everything here is tinged with mystery too, as main character May and her buddies fit into categories that you'll easily identify with, have a real connection to. It's a bit like a John Hughes movie come to life. And if you don't know what that means, just know it's a good thing. Number 2, Warframe. Warframe is cool because it originally came out in 2013, and yet in 2017, this version is utterly different. A free-to-play game that actually respects its fan base with a microtransaction system, just imagine that. Warframe is in the top 10 most played Steam games, and it's all down to being a solid third-person shooter with melee combat and consistently worthwhile loot drops. Plus there's an addictive crafting system that lets you create the vast majority of items you'd otherwise pay for in other games. There was even an expansion in 2017 that made Warframe more open world than ever, which kind of means it's just a really good game. Keeps getting better. Number 1, Nioh. Now a lot of people say Nioh is as good as Dark Souls, but to me, that's like saying a punch in the face is as good as a kick in the shin. In short, don't like either of these games. However, even I understand why a lot of people do, and Nioh does a very good job in tapping into the genre. We've seen loads of copycats in this regards, but Nioh feels like it brings enough new elements to the table to warrant a genuine comparison to Dark Souls. For starters, there is the whole peppering of the environment with fallen characters from other people's games, and yet here, they can be resurrected and fought against to gain better equipment and weapons. It means grinding levels can be a huge benefit and a fun challenge. That's before you get to the combat, which is easily the best Team Ninja have ever put out. Difficulty is of course sky high, but as usual, once you start to get the idea, the satisfaction of victory is unlike anything else. So, if you want a game in 2017 that floats your boat, well, here it is. Know of any other games in 2017 that people should have played? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Then head on over to whatculture.com and read yourself some gaming articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureGaming. My name is Simon from What Culture, and I will chat to you again soon.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.